Good morning. I thought you'd like to join me at my altar today. So, welcome to my altar. You cannot see my altar because you are on my altar. Today I wanted to share about, there's this beautiful book that I've been working my way through called The Radiance Sutras by Lauren Roche. And it's this beautiful book with, so it moves through the banter verses and the sutras, the yogic texts. And then at the back side of the book, the last part of the book, it's all about practices and different ways to connect into breathing. And it talks a little bit more about the Sanskrit words as well. And so I thought you'd want to join me today. Or I invite you to join me today if you choose to. I'm actually sharing this practice with one of my loves, and it's a great way to connect with people in your life. You both practice either together, or you read the scripts together, and then you practice apart, and then you have something to connect with, and you talk about your experiences when you come back together the next time or after a period of time. So today is about Shakti. So Shakti is power and skill in the use of power. Ability, strength, might, effort, energy, capability, effectiveness, efficacy of a remedy, regal power, the energy or active power of a deity personified as his wife, and worshipped by the Shakta, a sect of Hindus, the female organ as worshipped by the Shakta sect, either actually or symbolically, the power or signification of a word, the power or force or most effective word of a sacred text or magic formula, creative power of imagination of a poet. Is very, so I'd read this one before, but it was interesting that it came back because yesterday, during the yogic practice, we were working with the sacral, which is creative power, flow, the waters of life. So this is the practice. Very simple. That's the thing that I love, is these practices aren't very complex. They're easy to both grasp and also include in your practices. So Shakti is power in all forms. She is the energy or active power of the divine. She is the power of generation and creativity, the power of words, the energy of mantras, and the creative power of imagination. Shakti is prana Shakti, the life force expressing herself as the flow of energy through the body. Shakti is Mother Nature. Meditate on Shakti as the dynamic breath of life within you. In the middle, Madhya, of the motion of breathing, delight in the splendor of life. Attend to breath as play. Enjoy the rushing motion toward the end of the exhalation and inhalation, and savor the tiny movements as the flow reverses from one to the other. So this is referring to, so when you breathe, you feel the natural pause at the end of the inhalation and the natural pause at the end of the exhalation. There are little moments at the end of the exhale and again at the end of the inhale when the air is not moving in a specific direction. It is not still. It is like a river with eddies and swirls, and the blood is absorbing oxygen and giving off carbon dioxide. A lot is happening, but it's a quiet space of refreshing calmness. You can rest your attention in these turnings. A thoughtlessness opens up. In these moments, life is twiddling its thumbs, rebooting. I like this because of the rush, the busy that we feel is happening, even when we're like, okay, I'm doing my breath work. It's like pause. And we can come back to this space, this reboot space throughout the day. If you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling anxious, if there's a sense of overwhelm of like, I got to go to the next thing, take that 5-minute pause in between, or even the 2-minute pause, or when you're on the bus, or when you're waiting at the stoplight, and go return to your breath and return to these pauses at the beginning and the end. In this quiet swirling, you can say to yourself, I am filled with the power of life. Or you could use a prayer or verse from your native religion to say something like, God is breathing in me the breath of life. The divine is breathing in me the breath of life. You could think the word Shakti as a mantra, uttering it as an inner expression of awe. Whenever you use a Sanskrit word as a mantra, whisper it softly for a couple of minutes as you are getting used to the word. If you really like the word, it will continue to resonate in your awareness. From there, you can follow it into silence and spaciousness. So something to add if you choose to follow or try this practice. Inhale, and on the pause, whisper the word Shakti. And then on exhale, on the pause, whisper the word Shakti. Yeah, inhale and exhale. Atinona masakia kumana toto chetetama ushataya tetadayama koshetanaya masaki. Okay, sending you so much stardust and love. I am now entering my day. Hope your day goes well.